What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Thursday, December 30th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 4-game slate tonight. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Spencer Dinwiddie from the Washington Wizards playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a good defense overall. They've been good versus opposing point guards, but Spencer Dinwiddie has averaged 29.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 30 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He's projected at 31.2 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 35 fantasy points or more here, and he's $7,100 DraftKings salary and $800 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 213.5 points scored in this game, and Spencer Dinwiddie has scored 51, 30, and 54 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 33, and 35 minutes. So I like Spencer Dinwiddie here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. Here's a value play for you. I like RJ Hampton from the Orlando Magic playing the Milwaukee Bucks, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. RJ Hampton has averaged 16.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 19 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. But take a look at his last 2 games. He scored 25 and 30 fantasy points, playing 28 and 31 minutes. So if he's going to get close to 30 minutes here tonight, I think he can hit value here. Projected at 20.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's only $3,900 DraftKings salary. Now he is $1,400 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 217 points scored in this game, so I like RJ Hampton as a value play here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Chris Middleton from the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Orlando Magic, who have the 3rd worst defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing small forwards. Chris Middleton has averaged 34.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. He's projected at 35 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 40 fantasy points or more in this one. He's $8,000 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 217 points scored in this game, and Chris Middleton has scored 29, 35, and 43 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 31, 35, and 31 minutes. So I like Chris Middleton here versus the Orlando Magic. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Washington Wizards, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing power forwards. Kevin Love has averaged 27.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 20 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He's projected at 28.8 fantasy points here tonight, but he's playing more minutes, or he played 32 minutes last game and he scored 39 fantasy points. So I think he can score 35 fantasy points or more in this one. He's 6,700 DraftKings salary, 300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 213.5 points scored in this game. And Kevin Love has scored 39, 41, and 41 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 18, and 20 minutes. So if he can get 30 minutes or more in this one, I think he can crush value here. So I like Kevin Love here versus the Washington Wizards.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the center position. So I think I'm just gonna pay up at center here tonight. I like Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Brooklyn Nets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing centers, but Joel Embiid has averaged 51 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 34% usage rate. He's projected at 52 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he can score 55 fantasy points or more, get you 5 times value or more. He's 11,000 DraftKings salary, 200 less on FanDuel, and we know Vegas thinks there's going to be 217.5 points scored in this game. And Joel Embiid has scored 59, 62, and 46 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 30, and 35 minutes. So I like Joel Embiid here versus the Brooklyn Nets. So just real quick, a funny thing about Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think I might be the worst Giannis picker ever. Every time I pick this guy, he scores subpar fantasy points. I picked him in his last game. He scored 46 fantasy points. He played 29 minutes. Of course, the game before that, he scored 63 fantasy points in 29 minutes. So I'm picking Joel Embiid here tonight. So that is just setting off my Giannis radar, my Giannis alert, because he's also got a great matchup here. The Orlando Magic have the 3rd worst defense overall. They give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing centers. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 55.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 35% usage rate, projected at 52.9 fantasy points here tonight. But because I wasn't going to pick Giannis, he's probably going to go for 60 plus fantasy points. So I'm trying to pull some reverse psychology on the fantasy gods, sneaking this one in last minute here. And he's 11,600 DraftKings salary, 400 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 217 points scored in this game. So wasn't going to pick Giannis, but just keep that in mind when you go to plug him in your lineup here tonight. So I like Giannis Antetokounmpo here versus the Orlando Magic.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.